Hey guys, how's it going? Companion here. Today I'm going to talk about some cards that I feel have gained in value quite considerably, in fact, since the Naxx patch. And the Naxx patch introduced a lot of kind of shitty early game, annoying little cards, and a very popular Naxx card that you see a lot in Arena is a Spectral Knight. It's the 4/6 Fairy Dragon, basically. And you have to keep in mind that in Arena, you're going to have garbage cards. You're going to have situations where you have to pick stuff you don't really want, and you have to consider the fact that your opponent is in the same situation. Most of the time, the games are won in Arena, at least in the later stage, past 5 or 6 wins, from value. If you have cards, your opponent doesn't have cards anymore, you're in a winning situation, and usually, because the decks are scaled, you have similar curves at that stage, where your average draw is going to match his average draw, and because you're both drawing and you have stuff and he doesn't have stuff, you're going to win. It's a pretty clear-cut case, but you have to understand the frequency at which this situation ends up being the case is very high. And the cards I want to mention are going to start with one that is very good at exactly this. It is Darkscale Healer. Darkscale Healer is the 4/5 that heals all friendlies for 2 health. And a lot of people don't really realize the value of this card. Similar, I felt, a lot of people didn't realize the value of the Earthen Ring Farseer when I thought it was a really great card, let's say a year ago. Because very frequently you have to pick mid-game creatures. You have like Yetis, you have 2/4 Gnomish Inventors, maybe you have like a 6/6. And in Arena, very frequently, you actually are playing creatures versus other creatures. You're attacking into each other, and often you're playing against the mage. The mages are going to try to ping off your creatures. They're going to, for instance, if you play a 3/2 when you're both basically kind of top decking, instead of playing something, they're just going to ping your 3/2 to try to get it for free, try to steal a card. And Darkscale Healer works in that situation. It works in a situation where it's marginal board control, and it works wonderfully. You have to consider that a Darkscale Healer is basically a Chillwind Yeti for 1 mana. And if you heal 1 creature for 2, then that's pretty much worth it. But Darkscale Healer sets up the situation where not only does it do that, but the possible gains are significant. You can heal a lot of creatures for 2. You also heal yourself for 2 at the exact same time. And when it comes to the bursty end of things, very often in the early parts of Arena, you're facing mages who just fireball face, attack face, attack face. 2 health very often in those games means 2 turns. Against the Hunter, it means 1 turn. There's a lot of situations where it's really great. And Darkscale Healer, I feel, is one of the best cards to combo with Northshire Cleric if you're playing Priest. Because very often when you play Northshire Cleric, especially in Arena, you're playing Holy Nova to combo with it, just to draw the cards, not specifically because it's a good reason to do 2 damage to all the opponent's stuff. It's just for the heal so you draw. And Darkscale Healer acts in exactly the same situation. So it's not the best card ever, but in my opinion, because of all the small, annoying little shits, and because it's a mid-game oriented arena, and because you heal things like a Spectral Knight, where if you're a priest you can't normally heal it, you can't target a hero ability, it fits a nicer niche than it has before, and I feel it's significantly improved to now I consider it one of the better 5-drops. In fact, I would very often pick Darkscale Healer over Venture Co., which in my opinion was one of the best before. The next card I want to talk about is one I made a video specifically about. It is the Dread Infernal. The Dread Infernal, I look at it in a very simple case. Because there's a lot of 1 health crap in Arena now, specifically from the Naxx patch, and because if you're not playing a class that deals 1 hero damage, so if you're playing a mage, yeah, your opponent is not going to have much stuff at 1 health. But the mage, it's going to trade knowing that you don't have a way to deal 1 damage. I mean, it's Arena. You might get Immortal Coil, but at the same time, you probably have 0. So the mage is going to attack. He's going to have, in the mid game, in the late game, he's going to have 2 or 3 creatures at 1 health on any given turn. And the Dread Infernal clears that up. It kills a Divine Shield, which are a real pain in the ass in Arena for a Warlock. And not only that, but because in Arena you don't pick cards all at the same time, you don't get to construct a deck as a whole, you have to consider the value in the Dread Infernal if you later pick what is now the best Warlock card, Void Caller. Dread Infernal has scaling with Void Caller, where Void Caller becomes a 4 mana 3/4 that summons a 6/6. So it's 4 mana for 9/10, which is crazy. So Dread Infernal, you compare it to the other drops. In the 6th slot, the best neutral 6th slot in the commons is the Boulder Fist Ogre. So how good is Dread Infernal compared to Boulder Fist Ogre? And if you really look at all the advantages, it's not even close. Like, Dread Infernal is significantly better than Boulder Fist Ogre. And, some people automatically pick Boulder Fist. So you have to consider just how good this card is in the apples to apples comparison with the Boulder Fist. So great stuff. This is one of my favorite cards in Arena now. Third, and again, one of my favorite cards again, Crazed Alchemist. I'm going to have a clip at the end of talking about this card, which I'm going to show you guys an example of how it's used. You guys have to understand, because there's a lot of like one attack, 1/1s, all that kind of bullshit little creatures from Naxx, Crazed Alchemist sets up a situation to where if you have a creature that's weak to these, like a Jungle Panther for instance, you can make it strong. So if he plays like a Mad Scientist and you have a Jungle Panther, you can make your Jungle Panther 2/4, take out the Mad Scientist, and you have a 2/2, which usually trades for a 2 to a 3 drop in Arena. And because there are a lot more silences these days, silence is more important. And again, because you don't draft the cards in sequence, the silence combos with the Crazed Alchemist incredibly well. You can attack with something, you have like 1 health, and then you flip it, so it has like 1 attack, but the health is increased because of the attack. Then when you silence it, very often it will heal completely. So the combos are ridiculous. In my opinion, it's kind of like a Dark Iron Dwarf, and Dark Iron Dwarf is very, very powerful. It handles a lot of cards. It handles like Senjins, it handles Sludge Belchers when you're trying to get through taunts. It's really an incredible card, and you guys have to keep in mind that because a lot of people are playing the smaller scale cards, 2/2 for 2 is not as bad as it was before, because you're running into stuff like Wolf Spiders, you're running into like the Creepers, all little 1/2s, that kind of stuff. So it's not as bad as a card on its own. Very often you get a full heal on a target with a silence. Very often you can get a very easy trading up through another card, killing a taunt. Excellent value. And a lot of the stuff just didn't come up so often before, and now I feel it's one of the best rares out there. So you heard it here first, Crazed Alchemist. Watch the play. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Swipe here may not end very well for him.
My eyes are open.
Tricky.